Welcome to linear regression on the TI calculator. You should be pretty familiar with that stat button, and linear regression depends on paired data. For instance, maybe you want to predict a final score given a midterm score. You've got to have some data of students where you have their midterm and final scores. I've made up 7 possible student data points. So let's hit the stat button, choice 1 for edit, enter these 2 columns in lists 1 and 2, or whatever list you want. Then we're going to hit the stat button, arrow over to calculate, choose choice 4, LinReg. That stands for linear regression. X's are our midterms, so wherever you put that first column of data, tell your calculator. Y's are for finals. Wherever you put your second column of data, tell your calculator. We don't have any of this data repeated, so leave your frequency list blank. Store in regression equation. I need to learn how to use that button, but I haven't yet, so we're going to leave it blank too. And calculate. What did it tell us? Well, it told us we were in LinReg, and our equation should be in the form y equals ax plus b. And if I round to 2 decimal places, a would round to 1.12, b would round to -11. So this output means my regression equation, and we usually use y hat to signify regression because we're making a prediction, is 1.12x plus a -11, or I might just say -11. That's my regression equation. Now, what's a regression equation used for? Well, it's usually used to predict. What if I wanted to predict a final score for a student with an 83 on a midterm? I'd put the 83 in for x, and I'd get my best guess at how that student's going to do on the final. And students usually do a little worse on finals than midterms, so keep that in mind when you're studying. Now there's a few other things we can do, and we're going to have to learn some more function keys. Since we have our data in our lists, we might want to plot that data. And to do that, we're going to, press second, y equals, right under the window, first possible button, little skinny guy there. When we go into y equals, it should say stat plots across the top, and you've got several stat plots you can set. Choice 1, plot 1. It might say off or it might say on, but we want to enter on the 1 or press a 1, either way works. And now you've got a different system here. We've got plot 1, and it's blacked in. And we want to enter on the on, so it's blacked in. The type of graph we want. The first choice just plots x's and y's, and that's the one we want. So enter on that one. Then we need to tell our calculator where our x's are. Mine are in L1. Where our y's are. Mine are in L2. And what kind of mark do you want these little points to be? Do you want those little points to be squares, plus signs, or dots? I always go with squares because I'm old in trifocals. and that's the easiest one for me to read. Then we're going to press the graph button. Now, depending on who was using your calculator and where they were looking when they last graphed, you may or may not see anything at all. Think about that XY axis. It goes from negative infinity to positive infinity in both directions. And maybe the last time someone looked, they were over here, or up here, or in here. Who knows? Well, we want to look at the data that is out in the 60s to 100 region for our midterm scores, and the 45s to whatever for our final scores. And so we're going to press that zoom key right in the middle between y equals and graph. And we're going to arrow down to the choice that says Zoom Stat. I've been told different versions of the calculator have that in different places. Mine is choice 9, but wherever it is, enter on that one. And bam! Your calculator knows exactly what window you want, and it created it. And it's got, mine have little squares. And those are my points that I plotted. Now I'd like to know just where this regression line lies. So I'm going to just press y equals, no second first, just y equals. And I'm going to type in 1.12. Now I need an X button. And the X key is catty corner down from the second. And it says X T theta N on it. It's actually a tau, but it looks like a T. So that's where you get your X button. And then we're going to say minus 11. And press graph again. Woo! Cool! You should have gotten goosebumps. I did the first time I saw that. And your little line crawls right through there. And that's your regression line. That's the y equals 1.12 x minus 11. That's the line that is the closest it can possibly be to all of the points in your data set. Now sometimes we have to calculate r, and we can make our calculator do that as well. So we're going to press the second key and the 0 key to access catalog. And now you're going to scroll down until you find Diagnostics On. It's right after Diagnostics Off. And once you turn the diagnostics on, they'll stay on forever until you turn them off. And they don't hurt anything. They're fine to be left on. So hit enter on that choice. And you're going to have to, you might have to hit enter twice. I don't know. Now when we do stat, arrow over to calculate, go down, choice 4, LinReg, and enter on that one, or press 4, doesn't matter. Now notice, we're told we're in LinReg. We're told we have it in the form y equals ax plus b. A rounds to 1.12, B rounds to negative 11, and now we have an r squared and an r. We aren't going to use r squared in this class, but r, that's the correlation coefficient. And if you've been following through in your work, you know that guy is no fun to calculate. But our calculator does it just fine. And that's the way to do it. I have one other calculator button I want you to know about, and I probably should have told it to you sooner. But second plus, that accesses mem, or memory, in your calculator. If you accidentally deleted off one of your lists and you'd like to have it back, you can reset your calculator. Now, any programming you've done is going to get washed out. This is going to put your calculator back to the way it was when you took it out of the box, or whoever bought it in the first place took it out of the box from the factory. But you go down to choice 7, reset, and then it asks if you want to reset all RAM or just the defaults. We want to reset it all. So either press a 1 or enter. Now it's giving you one last chance to say change your mind in case you paid somebody a couple $100 to program some stuff into your calculator and you suddenly don't want to do this. Choice 1 is the no. But if you want those lists back, if you want your calculator just like new, press 2 for reset. And it's good as new. You've got everything back the way you want it. Good luck, and let me know how I can help.